Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Happy Monday.
I'm not holding this all the entire time.
Yes, you are. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? You want to say good morning, Rosie, since you're doing the hand movement?
Good morning.
Rosie is feeling that. Why did you take the beads off your hair? I'm just now noticing that.
This one side had beads and one side didn't, and then I tried to fix the beads, and then I realized that I don't know how to do it, and that it looked really retarded. So,
but the beads would have been really. They would have been. So I put them on today, Pocahontas. They would have been really cute. Mel, you want to say good morning? Good morning. Good morning, Miss Margaret. Yes, this is the car edition.
Good morning, Miss Margaret.
Rosie was just showing her smiling face because she is happy in it. She said, good morning, Rosie. And that's your friend back there, Miss Margaret.
This is, yeah.
She loves your hair. So we're hopefully everybody had a great weekend and that you enjoyed yourself and that you did not party too hard during the Super Bowl. Where's it at?
I forgot it was on.
Mark, she said you had. She said, "Hey, cute girl with the red hair."
Hi.
Mm-hmm. Excuse Rosamond, as she sounds like a man coming out of a bar.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry, everyone.
She is clearly not sorry because she let that burp out from her soul.
That scared me. All right, I'm leaving.
Oh, it was a burp. It was not a fart, Miss Margaret. And that, my friends, is how we're a lady first thing in the morning. Have a good day. Love you.
Okay, I love you.
Be peaceful.
Okay.
Be peaceful.
Oh, Mom, this is your container.
You give her stuff while she's getting out of the car. She doesn't have any.
I don't have any room in my backpack. You never have room in your backpack. I have too many things.
Yeah, she's not sorry, Margaret, like at all. She is. Rosie, you want to tell them to have a good day since you're leaving?
Everyone have a great day. Be peaceful and you look great.
Rosie says everyone looks great today. So she fell out the car and almost hit her head on another car. And this, my friends, is True Confessions and Conversations about your everyday life and finances. This is how we get down early on a Monday morning.
I swear we're together.
All right. You sure?
No.
Be peaceful.
All right, you too.
Okay. All right. Now maybe we can. Mel, leave it in here, Mel. Just put it back. Thank you.
Thank you.
They said have a good day, ladies. They are giggling and have gone on about in their own little world. All right. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? All right. I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl yesterday. Right. This is my Margaret. You have no idea the madness that is my life some days. It is insane, especially with Rosie. She brings that something special to it every day. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. I hope you have fun. I think my co-host is, and I don't think we told you guys, so she may be on in a few minutes, and she may not be. Lynn has started a new endeavor, and it is going to take her away in the mornings. So she may do her show, the Fearless Financial Thought of the Day, later on in the evening. But I can't remember the date that she's supposed to start her new endeavor. So I don't know if it's today or if it's next week, but we will see. So I have a quote for today. And y'all, if you, I'm starting a book club. So if you want to join, send me a message. So I have everybody's name on here so that I can make sure you have it. I got the best quote. Well, I'm going to say all of these quotes are the best quotes, but this one is really good. It says, only in the fever of creation could she recreate her own lost life. And I can't say her name, so I'm going to spell it Anaisnin. Anasis Nin, I'm guessing. Only in the fever of creation could she create her own lost life. And I thought that was so amazing. Like, and when you break it down, right, it's like only when we're desperate to create something, only when we're desperate to change can we recreate our lost life. I'm going to read that again because I just love it. So, and I lost it. Here it is. Only in the fever of creation could she recreate her own lost life. I love that quote. Miss Margaret, I got you. I'm putting you in there. And that quote just reminds us that we are creators. We are co-creators. And so there's nothing that we cannot achieve or create or work towards if we put our mind to it. And that should get you excited today. Only in the fever of creation could she recreate her own lost life. What have you lost in your life? And when are you going to get mad as hell about it, to do something about it, and to recreate what it is that you lost, and to recreate what it is that you want to do? Yes, it is the energy we need to starting with ourselves. Absolutely, because I can't help you if I can't help myself. Meaning I've got to do my inner work first before I can give outer work. Because if I give outer work and it doesn't come from a spirit of I'm giving free from my soul without any apprehension or requesting anything back, then it's not going to be the same. So I think we have to work on ourselves first. So the fearless thought for the day, and this one is I want you guys, it's motivational Monday. It's whatever Monday. What other Monday can we have? Make it happen Monday. Movement Monday. How about that, Margaret? I like that. It's movement Monday. All right. It says, I'm going to read this to you. If we do not claim our full human dignity, and we don't find our purpose and awaken our sacred dreams, we will pass the loss of ourselves down to the generations that come after us. We will pass the loss of ourselves down to the generations that come after us. Move Monday, and this is calling for movement. And I thought that was just so amazing. When we stop and think about it, are we passing the loss of ourselves down to other generations? Because we don't know who we are. We're not living true to ourselves. We are living someone else's version of what we need to be and how we need to be, that we have lost who we are. We have lost our way. We have lost our connection to our purpose. We have lost our connection to ourselves. And we are fighting like hell to fit into somebody else's version of that. And we're not doing it ourselves. And we're not living true to who we are at our soul. And so then our children and our girls are watching us. So if we have lost ourselves and we're not willing to find out where we went, how we went, where we are, and get down to that, then we're passing that on to generations of other girls, and will have other children, and she'll pass it down. The exception of, well, my mama did it and she had a kid young and we lived in poverty. And so I'm going to have a kid young and I'm going to live in poverty, and my children have a kid young and they'll live in poverty, and we won't be educated. And the cycle will continue because we have lost ourselves. And when we lose ourselves, we are passing it down to generations after us. Today, on this Move Monday, as Margaret said, think about the women in your family. What have they passed down to you? Did they pass their crazy down to you? Right. We've got, and it's the most insane things that we pick up or that we choose to pass down generation to generation, not knowing the impact that we're going to have down the road. And you've got to think about that. You've got to realize the importance of who you are right now. It has got to be burning in you. It has got to be so urgent inside of you to know that the life you're leading right now, you are passing it down to generations to come. And what are you passing down to those generations to come? What loss are you passing down to the generations to come? The loss of yourself. So as mothers, are we teaching our children that we live only for our husband and our children, and we don't live for ourselves, and who we are as women is to be overlooked and not taken care of? Right. We pass it on like it, exactly like it. And there's to pass down hurt, anger, and bitterness it's not a good look. That's not what we want. And then when we pass it down, we get mad at our children when they say, hey, I don't want that. Well, why not? I live like that. Your grandma lived like that. Your great grandma lived like that. Why would you want less than for them? That's because you have lost yourself along the way. And in the loss of yourself, you are still passing down that generational habits, behaviors, and thought processes. So other girls, it becomes other girls, other boys, the men, because whether you know it or not, if you're raising young boys, they are watching how men treat you. Because if it's acceptable for my mama and I love my mama, then that's how I'm supposed to love. So that's what I'm going to pass down. And they are also watching how men approach you, how they're supposed to approach women. So think about it. Let me read that again. If we do not claim, right, the women family, Miss Margaret, you have no idea. I think we're on the same wavelength with that one. If we do not claim our full human dignity, and we do not find our purpose and awaken our dreams and our purpose, we will pass the loss of ourselves down to generations to come after us. What are you passing down? What did your great grandma pass down to you? What are we losing of ourselves? And when I tell you, when I feel like I'm losing, so here's a true confession and conversation. When I feel on those days where I feel like yesterday. So Friday, we celebrated me getting a speaking engagement to California. That was Thursday night. So Friday, we went out to dinner again. Saturday, I spent the whole day with the family with the understanding that on Sunday, I'm not carrying a title on Sunday. I'm not mama. I'm not anything. I'm not carrying a title. Right. And Miss Margaret, those are the things that we're passing down. And we can't be angry at our children because they want different. We should encourage them to want different. I'm telling you. But you've got to get mad as hell about your situation. And so this weekend, I knew that I gave all the stuff on Saturday. I gave all the things on Saturday. So on yesterday, I knew I could not give anymore. And until people understand how to give back into you, you have to demand that you take your own space. So that meant I woke up when I felt like it. And that meant I stayed in the bed till I felt like it. I ate when I felt like it. I took a shower when I felt like it. And I read books. I laid around with no TV on. I had both of the doors locked. You could not get in. It was my time. And I protected it like none other. Do you feel like talking? Nope, I don't feel like talking. And then finally around 8:30, I decided to come out of my protectiveness of I've poured back into JoJo now. So JoJo can now give to other people. Then I came out, but then I limited my interaction with people. I can't answer a question. I can't think that hard right now because I don't want to. Because I've poured back into myself on this day. So don't ask me hard questions. I don't know the answer. I'm not going to figure it out for you. Don't ask me anything, because JoJo needs her time. And you got to be selfish about that thing, about needing your time. Because if you're not selfish about it, people will take, and you will be exhausted. Your spirit will hurt. Your stomach will hurt. Your head, your shoulders. And you won't know why in the hell you're mad. You're pissed off at everybody. Because here's how I can tell when JoJo has put out too much. Y'all want to know how I know when I don't put out too much? My mouth and my attitude will cut you to the ground, and I will care less about what fell out my mouth. And I know at that point, it is detrimental to my health and to yours that I take some quiet time for myself. If you do not allow me to take that quiet time, I'm going to get angry, and then I'm going to forcibly take that time, meaning I'm going to leave, and you all will fend for yourselves. But I've got to go tend to myself, because I poured out to everybody. And as mothers and aunties and grandmas and daughters, I will, exactly. And I don't want to cuss. I don't want to do that. And then I'm going to start nitpicking. Oh, so you really want me to be involved, because I done gave all I can give. So you really want me to be involved? All right, then let's go. I want you to clean this. And then I go into that super hyperactive mode. And then people are looking at me like, you've lost your natural born mind. Yes, I have. That's why I need my break. And that's why I protect my mental space. I know my limits. I set them, and come hell or high water, I'm not going to let you intrude into that. So yesterday was my day, and I meant that with all of my being. And so when I got ready to go to bed, guess what I did? I didn't say anything to anybody. I went to bed, and I went to sleep. Oh, mommy, you didn't tell us good night. The lights is out. Good night. Because I can't be good for my children if I'm always putting out and I'm never resting to put back in. And you got to be intentional about that thing, y'all. You got to be serious about that thing. When I tell you, if I can't get it in during the week, I make sure I get it in on the weekend. And there's sometimes where I can't do it every week, that it's a 2 to 3 week span before I get that private time. But every night, you can best believe when I get in that shower, and this is my little ritual. This is what I do. If I've had a hard day and I've given all I can give, I've answered everybody's question, because, you know, if you're mama, everybody expects you to have an answer. They could give a flip whether you don't know it or not. They assume that you're going to have a solution because you're mama. Hey, my friend. Hey, Miss Lynn, how you doing? And so when I get in the shower, I have lemon, essential oil lemon, because lemon is cleansing. And what I do is I put the lemon on my hands, and I let it get a little hot water on it, and I inhale 3 deep breaths, and I let them out. And that calms me. And then I take more lemon, and I massage my feet with it as I'm standing in the shower. And in this part of your foot is your shoulders. And I massage, because I carry my stress, and I rub my shoulders out. And I stay in that shower till there's no more hot water. I don't care. Because my mental health is essential to your mental health. And that's why this quote is so important today. Only in the fever of creation could she recreate her own lost life. Only in the fever of creation could she recreate her own lost life. That means you've got to be so mad that people are taken from you, that now you know this is not your life. You're going to recreate what you have lost by any means necessary. And sometimes, y'all, that means we love our family with our whole heart. But I will text my family and say, I'm not answering phone calls for the next 2 or 3 days. If you're dead, dying, or about to die, please text me or call one of my children, and they will let me know. I will tell my kids, I cannot. I'm trying to can, but I can't. And I need my time. And that means I lay in silence. I sit in quiet, or I do whatever I need to do to pour back into myself, because we give so much, y'all, that we are empty. We're literally empty, and there's nothing else left to give. Heaven forbid you get sick. You still got to give, and you're going to be sick. Nope. You've got to get it together for yourself. So let me read this to you again. If we do not claim our full human dignity, and we do not find our purpose and awaken our sacred dreams, we will pass the loss of ourselves down to the generations that come after us. What loss are you passing down to your children? What have you lost in your spirit? What makes your soul happy that you lost and now you mad at everybody else because you ain't got it, but you're passing it down to your children, to your girls, to your boys, to your family? What is that? What have you lost? I just want to know. What have you lost? Yeah, I'm not an ambulance either. I can't. And as a mama, I really want to protect everybody. I really want to help everybody. But sometimes me helping everybody means I've got to help myself. And if I don't help myself, I cannot help you. I cannot. But we will pass the loss of ourselves down to the generations that come after us. And that's where the topic came of, keeping your space. That self-help, that self-care is essential. Y'all know I'm a firm believer of counseling. I'm a firm believer of talking it out with your girlfriends. Please make sure you pick the right ones. There is a book called The Awakened Woman. Okay, y'all, since Lynn started this, so let me tell you about this lady. And y'all, I will share the podcast that I listen to, the YouTube channel that I listen to that she's on here. Before she was even through with the interview, I stopped it and went and bought her book. Like, I was all in it yesterday and it made me cry. So this lady here that wrote this book, she's been on Oprah, and Oprah says she's the best interviewer ever. She grew up in Zimbabwe, and where they were married to different people. And so she had different husbands, and both her husbands were abusive. And she had 4 children before the age of 18. And she lived in poverty. And her grandmother said, that's just the way of our culture. Our husband beat us and we have children, but it is our job to be silent and not to say anything, and to do the least that you can do not to be noticed, so that you don't bring the wrath of your husband upon you. And she said she knew that there was more for her life. And a missionary came to her village, and she saw what she wanted to be. She wanted the education that everybody else had. And for years, she did mail order education, y'all, where she had to fill out the application, mail it from Zimbabwe to Europe, wait on a response, and then she would know if she got in. She didn't get in the first time. She had to do it again. And so she would only get one class at a time, and she'd have to mail in her work and wait for the information to come back. Do you know the process of that? Now this lady has a PhD. She lives here in America, and she travels the world talking about your sacred dreams and how we are a sacred sisterhood, and how we as women can change the world and I gotta find this quote, if we are true to who we are ourselves. But if we're not true to who we are, she calls it the great hunger. Until you can acknowledge your great hunger, what is the one thing that breaks your heart? What is the one thing that keeps nagging at you that you know you need to do to change the world? Until you become clear on that and acknowledge your great hunger, the little hunger, meaning your everyday life, will overtake you, and you will pass the loss of yourself down to other generations. And here's her quote: we cannot expect to change what's in the world unless we first awaken what lies deep within. And I think that's amazing. This book is really, really good. And that's where the Phyllis thought comes from today. We will pass the loss of ourselves down to the generations that come after us. Just because we lived in poverty doesn't mean our children have to live in poverty. Just because I had a husband who blacked my eye, I don't want my children to have that. And so I had to stop that cycle. Period. Once you get in your mind that you're not going to do this anymore, then you can proceed. Then the world, God himself, is going to show you the way to where you need to be and how you need to get there. But you have got to first acknowledge what it is that you want to do. I'm telling you guys, this book is so good, and it is so much in line to the thought of the Fearless Morning Show, what we're trying to do. So I encourage you. Yeah, Lynn, you know what? If you have Audible, I don't like to listen to books. I like to read them, but I'll send you, if you send me your telephone number, I'll text you the book and you can listen to it for free. And Audible has a free 30-day trial anyway. So either way, you send me your number, I'll text you the link so you can listen to the book for free. But this book is so amazing. Like, it's amazing. Only in the fever of creation could she recreate her own lost life. What is the loss that we're passing down to our family, to our children, to say, you know what, it's okay to have less than. I don't want that for my girls. I don't want them to think that we're going to have less than on purpose. That makes no sense. So if we are created from God, and he is the creator of the whole world, and he said he made us in his likeness, so that means I'm a co-creator, and he's a king and I live in his kingdom. And if he's a king and I'm his kid, I have certain rights and abilities. And why would I have less than when the man who created me says I can have greater than? Just asking. So think about that today, guys, on this Move Monday, Marvelous Monday, Motivational Monday. I hope I've said something that's going to help somebody have a better day, to think something different. What is the loss that you're passing along to your children? And if you have boys, how they see you react to men is how they are going to react to women, because they're going to assume if it's right for my mama and I love my mama, but she's accepting it, then that's what I'm going to. We got to realize that we are setting our children up either for failure or success. Now, there will be some kids, regardless, that say, I saw what my mama's doing and I'm going to do different. But there's some children who will automatically say, I love my mama, and if it's good enough for her, that's what I'm going to do. If it's good enough for my dad, that's what I'm going to do. Let's be mindful of what we are creating in front of our children. Because whether you believe it or not, your everyday habits, your everyday thoughts are leaving information for your children to follow. I know I miss you too, Miss Lynn. We've got to I'm coming home in a couple of weeks. So we need to get together. All right, guys, I hope you have a great Monday. Remember, if your friends and family don't have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel, so you can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. If you simply type in the Fearless Morning Show, we will pop up, and you can go over there and watch us. And I promise it is by topic, by title, so you can pick whatever you want to watch. If you know somebody who needs to live past crazy, please send them over here to the Fearless Morning Show, because I know crazy, but I also know that there is a life past crazy. Please check out my website, livepastcrazy.com. And if you have any questions, please make sure you send me a message. I'll be glad to be your personal cheerleader. I'm not a counselor. However, I've been through everything from suicide to depression and everything in between. So I understand. I can sympathize and empathize with where you are. All right, guys, I hope you have a great Monday, and I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.